Now we are switching over to the post-modern architecture. So one of the remarkable thing you should have to remember, and you should have to significantly point it out, and you may also note down on your diary that what sort of development taken place during the post-modern period. Because if you study about the post-modern architecture, I have already expressed about that too. I'm making a review and repetition that all the cultural development, all the cultural activities, all the monumental activities, all the activities related with the ideas of art, culture, painting, whatsoever it is completely depend upon the rulers of the region. Point number one. Point number two, the mindset and the ideas evolved from the part of ruler itself. And what sort of religion, what sort of belief, what sort of faith they keep in them. On the process of that, their, what we can say, that cultural exposition formulates on the pattern of architectural development. Architectural development, monumental development is the outcome of a personality, outcome of a thought process, or outcome of a system. Outcome of a system organized by, developed by the rulers, their thinking process, their you can say that upbringings, and as I told you earlier that the base of all the cultural activities are religious. So the rulers, whosoever is adopting, or you can say that adapting the idea of exposing different kind of activities in the form of religion, culture, philosophy, architecture, many more things incorporated in that. It totally depends upon the ideas of the ruler, dynasty, and the system of patronization. Without the patronization, without the idea of patronization, without the ideas of providing support, no religion, no culture, no monument, no such activities, cultural activities developed and expand. So, after the modern period, it is again a very huge period. It is again a very long period. It is again a very long era of building of historical process of India. Because modern empire was a mammoth, was the biggest empire from ancient to the recent time. Recent time means before the modern period of the British advent. So this was a very big unified empire, and first time we notices in this regard, many more notices came to the practices. What is that? India was a unified empire. The cultural unity of India was unified. But the ideas of thought process were, you can say, divergent. But in divergent process, in divergent ideas, the integrity and unity of the empire was very well read. And from north to south and east to west, it was a complete unified big empire under the rule of the Chandragupta Maurya and under the process of Ashoka itself. So after disintegration of the empire, after breakup of the empire, the whole India was fragmented under the different part, and all the different parts are ruled over by the different rulers. So in this context, I am trying to highlight, and I would like to focus Not these sections in the main topic, but it is important to remember that at that time, as I told you, that all the cultural activities, all the religious trend, all the architectural trends or the craftworks developed under the patronage of, under the what we can say that support system of any big court system, any big ruler at all. So during that period, after the end of the Mauryan Empire, the post-Mauryan era was corroborated by a combination of different rulers, and they rule over the country from the different parts, from the different system. They belongs from different religion, they belongs from different culture, even though they were the foreigners and they themselves Indianized in the Indian scenario. So these famous rulers under the post-Mauryan architecture developed, you should have to remember only with the name, so that you could manage to develop your ideas, information from other resources, other part of it. So you can say that focal point of that become the part of our cultural heritage, and that become the part of our, you can say, the core syllabi designed and developed by civil services. You can say that bodies. What is that? The famous empire and the famous rulers were the Sung dynasty. Okay? These were the Brahmin people, and they developed the idea of Brahmanical thoughts, and ideas were on the basis of that. Again, another dynasty, they were known as the Kanwas. They known from these ideas too. Another were famous rulers, they were Kushanas, and they contributed largely to the development of Indian art, architecture and cultural part of it. Another important were the Satavahanas. Another one was Vakataks, and another important, and they were the real maker of, you can say, the cultural history, the part of religious themes and ideas, architecture, development and all. So the contribution of all these Sung, Kanwas, Kushanas, Satvahans, Vakataks, Guptas contributed in a larger way, even though we can't forget the contribution of what we can say that other rulers of what we can say that Harsha itself, Harshvardhan, and he was supposed to be the last Hindu empire of that time. So the post-Mauryan architecture should studied, should reviewed in the light of these above rulers and their contribution in different region, in different part of the country. They contributed by and large of building a composite culture. They developed the idea of what we can say that adaptation of foreign and Indian culture. And this mixture idea, the idea of mixture, you can say that this composition, we find it was in a larger way again when the Muslim, they came to India. In the latter part, we will also study about that. Indo-Islamic culture, again another composite formation took place. But here we will have to study in the light of all these rulers. Another important thing which I am going to discuss in the part of post-Mauryan architecture, it is the architectural development in the region of what we can say that Bharut. This is what we can say, that this is again a stupa. Stupas evolved, developed during the Mauryan period and the post-Mauryan development, architectural development. About the Sanchi Stup, I have already discussed in the last phase of Mauryan period, when the Stupa building has come to the prominence. It was discussed in detail. Then another important thing, it is again the region of Mathura. Again the architectural progress and development considered in this phase. Another important place is Sarnath. Then another development which created a school of art. It is what? Gandhara School of Art. Gandhara School of Art. Again the term, first time what we are finding here, the School of Art, Gandhara School of Art, then Mathura School of Art, Gandhara and Mathura. These are two important, what we can say, that a style, pattern of development of art and culture of this period, Gandhara School of Art and Mathura School of Art. Another thing that is again very much noticeable, we will study under this post-Mauryan architecture, is what? Ellora. What significant development has taken place in Ellora, in the region of Ellora, and how Ajanta and Ellora is different from each other. This is very significant, and I think so far my experiences are concerned, many more times the questions in civil services comes from, in the mains as well as in prelims examination, Gandhara School of Art or Gandhar, Shaili, Parampara, tradition, and Mathura, and how it is distinguished and different from other part of that too. And in that scenario, in that context, again Elephanta caves or Elephanta, the place Elephanta itself in the region of Maharashtra, again a very important part of it, and it is again a very important topic in this. So I'm going to discuss all the important feature, aspect, theme, objective of post-Mauryan architecture, and you should remember these are the things. These are normally used to ask in our prelims examination, in our main examination, in our interview. So these are the things you should have to keep in your mind, and I'll go to details, all the critical aspect that. Giving all the things, one more thing that I didn't discuss. It is what? Ajanta. This is what? Again Ajanta. This is again a very significant part of the post-Mauryan architecture. So the complete thing I would like to discuss, I would like to continue it considering one by one the criticality regarding the topics from examination point of view, and you should have to be very attentive in this part. It looks sometimes very technical and typical and difficult, but I feel so. I would like to make this thing present before you in a very simplistic way, in a very comfortable way, and you can retain and remember in a, you can say that, enjoyable way. It will not be at all a taxing part. It will not be a difficult part of it. So start with the idea of what we can say that Bharut. If you talk about Bharut, So consider Bharut, it is located in the region of, the state is what we can say that Madhya Pradesh region. And again the famous part of Bharut is what? The famous part of Bharut is, it is a Buddhist, what we can say that Buddhist architecture. And this architecture developed. The origination development has taken place during the time of Ashoka. And this art activity also developed and patronized in this scenario. And the main feature that normally used to ask in the competitive examinations in civil services, it is what? The Bharut, I have discussed the detail about the Sanchi Stupa, almost the structure design are the same. In this Bharut, the specific thing what we feel in this, all the panels, I mean to say that panels are what? The panels of, as I discussed you regarding the architectural progress, Torana is again one of the important part of this architectural activity. Architectural activity. This is the entrance section of a stupa of Sanchi or a stupa of Bharut. So one of the remarkable feature, one of the remarkable thing that is to be noticed in this regard, that what is that? The panels means actually these are the panels. These are the panels on the walls. These panels are showed or expressed by the beautiful pictures, by the beautiful images. So one of the significant part of Bharut is what? The panels are narrative. You should have to remember. The question may ask the feature about that too, about the panels. Your answer should be, the panels are shown with an elaborate way and the characters in the story. So it is what? It is a very strong message in the form of architectural development. What is the important thing in this regard? The important thing is architectural development has also taken place. Apart from architectural development, the sculpture making process on the walls. What is the latest development in this period, in this connection is what? The elaborations of sculptures. The elaboration of sculptures in the form of stories have been very well depicted, and that gives a very strong message regarding the contemporary condition and situation of that time. So it has been shown in the palace, and this beautifies, this gives an idea, and this shows that the maximum utility of space. What is that? Maximum utility of space, filling it with depicting the elaborate pictures. So that is one of the important significant part. We see that because the availability of spaces were very well utilized. Availability of what we can say that places were very well utilized. I mean to say that it is the panel, it is the free space. So this free space is elaborately depicted by different type of features, different type of stories, and all these stories have certain relations with the existing situation, related with the conditions prevailing during that period. This is the second important significant part you should have to remember, and you may note it down too. Another significant development of architecture in the region of Bharut was, it shows that the deep carving work. What is that? The deep carving work has been shown in this scenario. Deep carving work. And deep carving work shows, what is that? It is that it shows a fold arms and a stiffness of the body. The picture has been shown in the form of a stiffness. So the body looks like it is stiff. The body look like a stiff, like suppose this is the image of Buddha. This is the image of Buddha, and Buddha is seated, and this hand looks. What is this hand looks? A bit stiffer. The hand looks a bit, what we can say that? The hand looks a bit stiffer. It looks stiffer. It looks, what we can say? It looks stiffer. It is stiffer. So this shows that the alertness are there. This shows that clarity of, segregation of, you can say that carving work. And deep carving is what? Deep carving shows that the picture is slim, the picture is thin, and due to deep carving works, that shows clarity. If you talk about the deep carving works, I mean to say that the meaning of deep carving work is what? The eyes shows the sharpness. It shows what we can say that, if you talk about that, sharpness, it shows sharpness. So this is the significant part of this image we find at this place too. So the arms is folded. Arms is folded means in small spaces, in thin spaces, a complete exposing picture, a complete clarity of picture should be expressed, should be elaborated. This is the significant part of what we can say that Bharut architecture. What is that? Fold arms and stiffness. And it shows what is that too? It is deep carving work. And deep carving work we find in the region of Sanchi Stupa, in the field of, you can say that, in the region of Sanchi, Madhya Pradesh. Another, we also find deep carving work in the region of Bodh Gaya, Bihar. And again, the deep carving work we notices in the region of Bharut. So this may be the question for your civil services examination prelim questions. What is the specific feature of what we can say that? The folding arms shows a stiffness, option number 1. The folding arm showed sluggishness. The folding arm shows, you can say, fleshy. And the folding arms looks like a, you can say that it is a meditative mood. So you should have to be alert that a stiffness is one of the important part of it, and the deep carving work was a dominant feature. Again, the question may arises, which of the important dominating part in the idol? So, what is that? The languages were used of exposing or exposition of these picture was in a pictorial form. Why it was pictorial form? Because this is the most simplest and this is the most easiest way of understanding the messages. That is the significant part of that. Another important thing you should have to keep in your mind, and this is also the significant part of this Bharut architecture, is the messages most of the time communicated through the panels of the architectures, through the walls of the architectures, through the, you can say that, pillars of the architectures. Most of the time it is with the stories of the Jatak Katha. Jatak Katha is what? The birth story of Mahatma Buddha. That is again a significant part of that. In this Bharut, one important messages were given by the artist, given by the architect, given by the, what we can say that, those who were involved in the cultural activities. What is that? Queen Maya Devi. What is that? Queen's Maya Devi dream that an elephant heading towards the womb of Maya Devi and heading towards descending towards the womb of Maya Devi and with a lotus. So this is very significant part of that. I have already discussed that in Mauryan architecture. In Mauryan architecture, the significant part is lion. The significant part is lotus. The significant part is elephant. So this shows that, this expresses that before the conception of Buddha, before the conception of Siddhartha, she has a dream, and this dream converted into reality. But that reality, which has a sequence, which keeps a history of the birth of Mahatma Buddha, and the depiction of that birth story of Mahatma Buddha is very well explained on the panels of astupas, on the walls of astupas. And this is the one instance, and this is the story regarding Queen Maya Devi and her dream with elephant heading towards womb. It is very well expressed, it is very well depicted on the panels of Bharut. So this is the architectural development, and this architectural development has a resemblance, has you can say, a very strong message, and it also keeps a very strong message for what? The life system prevailed in the past and its significant relative importance in that scenario. Another important significant pictorial picture or pictorial, you can say, scene has been narrated regarding the Jatak Katha and the birth story of Mahatma Buddha. It is what? Jatak story. Because, and it became the art of tradition of decoration in a stupa. So it became what? It became the tradition. So the tradition of decorating in stupas, it was mainly based on idea of what? Depicting the stories. And that kind of a story that has a very powerful impact, and that story keeps a very strong traditional contribution to the complete religious and cultural system of that time. That is why it became the tradition. And again, it is a matter to ask question in your civil services examination. The question may be framed like that: what were the major tradition? What were the major tradition? What were the major style? What was the major pattern adopted in the architecture, in the building development of that time and period, and the method of beautification, or that what we can say, that making them attractive? What is that? The storytelling, the pictorial picture has been exposed, and it exposed to show about the social scenario. So 2-3 things arises. This message gives 2 or 3 important message. What is the first one? The first one is it keeps a very strong religious base. Another thing, this religious base has close affinity to the society and cultural activities prevailing that time. The third thing, these messages should be adaptive. The people should learn that in our past, that in our, you can say, the process of ancestors, tradition, what they adapted and what they should adopt with the existing situation, with the existing scenario. So this became one of the significant part of what we can say, that postmodern architectural development and its contribution to the existing architectural development. So the symbolic thing, it is a stupa, it has a connectivity with Buddhism, Bodh religion. The things which is depicted on the walls, on the panels of the stupa, it is what? It is a message, and it is a social religious messages. And this social religious messages has a very strong base of cultural development. And this was evolved, and this was developed in the architectural development of that period. Another very significant thing that again has been exposed, it has been depicted on the panels, on the walls, you can say, about this Bharut is what? King standing. What is that? What is that? The king standing with his army. The king standing with his army. The king standing with his army. And the king about to shoot. What is that? And king about to shoot the deer and show along, you can say that, shown along with the king pointing, and the king pointing that it should be shut down. Again, another corollary, we find that the deer virtually save the person, carrying the person on their back. So this again shows a message, and this message shows that the king has affinity with what type of society, what type of culture, what type of messages. So this is what we can say, that messages what the king used to do. So naturally people used to imbibe the ideas, whatever an ideal king, whatever the ruler used to do. People try to copy it, and it is a tradition, and it is a system that people worship goddesses. Why? What are the reasons? Because of their ideal character. So this is why the important stories, the stories which inspire the people to augment, to develop, to what we can say, placate their cultural life, their thought process. And another important remarkable thing what we see in this scenario, in this panel again, one important thing, it has been significantly exposed that the Buddha picture has been shown that Buddha is, and the Buddha here is, Buddha here is with headgear. The term is what? It is headgear. So this is the section of what we can say, that headgear. The upper section of this hair is, the upper section of the hair is what? It is like this. Again, it is headgear. It is what we can say, that so this knot shows that this type of culture must be prevail in this regions, in these connections. So it is what we can say, that regional development of that period. The headgear of Buddha is exposed very well, and pointing it a knot, it is knotted. It is like a knotted gear. This is again one of the important part in this connection, in this way of developing architectural progress. And again, from your examination point of view, another question arises regarding that. One of the remarkable character is what? There is consistency. What is that? Consistency in what we can say, that pictorial development. Consistency is one of the important aspects, or what we can say, that significant part of the development of modern architecture. In this way, what is that? The consistency shows that the tradition is continued. The architectural development has got prominency, and it is being patronized. So this is the way, and this is the idea that evolved, and in the latter part of that, the significant changes has also taken place. So making a review to the whole topic, I have already discussed to you, and I am going to highlight the critical aspect of that and the different dimension of asking the questions from this part of postmodern architecture. The postmodern architecture, it itself, the word and term is self-explaining, and the postmodern architecture is a very what we can say that diverse in their character, diverse in the, you can say that theme process, diverse from architectural point of view. The main reason behind that, so the different ruler emerge in the different region of the country, and the different region, different rulers of the country, kings of the country, princes of the country, what is that? They have different way of thought and thinking due to the religious cultural impact, in which Shunga was another part of it, Kanavas, Kushanas, Guptas, Satvahana, Vakataka. So even though Harsha, these were the famous rulers, and all of them contributed of building their empire. All of them contributed building the cultural activities. All of them have certain religious ideology. There are certain religious and cultural ideas, and they very well patronize all these things, and they developed in this counterpart. So this is the significant part, and one important example I'm putting before you, and I will discuss in detail. If you talk about Gupta period, so during the Gupta period, it is an independent period. It is an independent period. It is an independent era. And Gupta period is the contribution of three major rulers. Three major rulers. Chandragupta, who founded the empire. Samudragupta, who expanded the empire. Chandragupta II, popularly known as Vikramaditya. So, the contribution of all these three rulers, all the three, you can say that empire, identified this period as a golden age of ancient Indian history. So, again, this was an era, this was the period which contributed largely, extensively for making our history, or you can say that architectural progress in a different way. So this is the beginning, I can say, this is the, you can say, beginning of the post-modern architecture. In the latter part, I will consider the section which is very much important is what? That is again, I will cover the topic, because the topic of Bharuch, if you talk about Bharuch, if you talk about Sanchi, again the same things I have already discussed in this regard. Same thing prevail in this connection. Then Gandhara school of art, one of the significant part of that. Then the Mathura school of art. Then the development has also taken in the regions of Sarnath. This is again important part. Then Ajanta and Ellora, it has a major contribution. Both have major contribution. Ajanta alone has a specific character. Ellora alone has a specific character. So in the next topic, I will consider the set topic what I discussed to you, interacted to you. So go for the details.